Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode today. I want to talk about compassion with you. Now, what does it mean to have compassion? Well, I don't think it just means to hand a homeless person $5 or to say how sorry you feel for the people in your life that are struggling. Do you really feel sorry, or are you just out here virtue signaling and like parading around and like trying to shout from the rooftops how good of a person you are? I think to have real true compassion is to be able to feel what the other person is feeling, even if you haven't necessarily experienced it in your own life. And I think when you really look at compassion, it's not a character trait that people just automatically embody. It's not. I don't think it's something that you're born with. I think it's a skill set developed, and it can be a very not only can it be a very efficient or a very helpful skill set to have, but it helps you, right? It helps you feel good, not necessarily feel good about yourself, but it makes you feel it brings you peace in the midst of whatever it is that you're going through. And once you even if you take 1 second to turn your attention away from yourself and onto somebody that might potentially have it much worse than you, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've tried that in my own life, and not only do I feel better, but I instantly forget what it was that I was upset about, or what it was that I was so anxious or felt hopeless about. And so that's what it means to have compassion. But I want to go ahead and address something real quickly, as it pertains to our society at large, specifically here in this country, because um, I'll be and I'll be honest. Like I have mostly conservative leaning beliefs. I think most people do right now. I think the left has completely lost their minds. I think I think it's become I think they've become less about being the party of compassion, or being the party of like giving you more freedom, so like you smoke weed, get an abortion, this or that, right? But I think the one thing that I think conservatives can do really can do a much better job at is having more empathy. Because what I've noticed about the conservative party is that they could have that there's a little bit more room for compassion there. I honestly think that's what's turned a lot of people off about conservatives or about the Republican Party is, I really admire the spirit of personal responsibility, um uh make become getting getting more control over your own life, right? Making Getting your finances in order, getting your career in order, or finding out what your career is, and basically putting your own fate into your own hands, right? So that's what that's what I've always respected about conservatives, not Republicans, because Republicans aren't conservative. They're no different than the Democratic Party. Um, they're um, they're special interest. They're they're authoritarians. They're greedy corporatists that want to profit off of people suffering, and that want to gain more money and more power. So there's absolutely nothing different about the Republican, and I'm being serious when I say this. There's nothing. There's no fundamental difference between Republican and Democratic Party. I mean, do you really I mean, do you really honestly want me to think that Gavin Newsom and Greg Abbott aren't buddies? Are, you know, that they're not business partners, really? Like, I would tend to think so. But yeah, I mean, that's just something that I've noticed personally about conservatives is, you know, try and have a little bit more compassion, you know, try and have a little bit more empathy, and try and put yourself in somebody's shoes, you know, because chances are, you haven't walked like even a quarter mile in their shoes. You've never had their experiences. You've never been through what they've been through, and so that's what it means to have compassion. And it can be a really hard concept to adopt, but I think the more that we as a collective society can learn to have more compassion for each other. And when I say each other, I mean everybody. I'm not talking to one specific group of people or one party or anything like that. This is for all of us. We need to start looking to our left and to our right, and just looking at each other as people again. I mean, that's ultimately what this country is about. It's not about conservatives versus liberals. I mean, I don't know how many times I can say this. I mean, I don't know how many times people need to hear this, but you need to hear it. That's not what this country is about. This country is about, we're family. You know, like we all have to start looking at each other as family, not just the strangers walking down the street, but as family. And yeah, let's try and learn about each other, and learn how we can give, as opposed to taking, right? So anyway, guys, that's my episode for you. I hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure that you share this with your friends and your family. Make sure that you subscribe to me on YouTube. Collectively Fearless is where it's at. You can follow me on Instagram at itsmatty_ice. Where I'll post daily content there. And as always, guys, until next time, I will see you again soon.